I never set out to create anything. I just wanted to have a relationship with my son. And Amar and I, we began to realize that as we were building our relationship, a lot of people were still struggling with some of the same issues that we had um, um, while trying to reconnect. And so we walk on Sundays. Every Sunday we walk and we talk about just everything. And one of these days we were talking about, some of his friends and my friends and the relationships they have with their children after being apart. And we said, why don't we just share our story? Maybe we can help somebody. Um, and that's where Out of Ashes was born from. So we started sharing, and this was what, 5 years, 3 years ago, in 2015, and we've been all over the country sharing this story.
So on Sundays at 10 a.m., me and my dad, we link up and we go and we walk through the parks, Battery Park, Brandywine Park, wherever. But that's our time. That's our dedicated time to connect, catch up on things, and just kind of talk through things. My dad had the foresight to put this time together for us because as I began to get older and he's out doing his thing, life could easily get in the way of our relationship. And I think he was cognizant of our relationship is still really young. During these walks, we'll go off on tangents and talk about the way life should be and business and things that make us laugh and things that make us cry. But it's our time to be open and honest and really just time to communicate. One day we realize what we have is uncommon. It's not the norm. And we notice because we see our friends, specifically me, I see my friends, they struggle with building relationships with their dad. They don't see the value in it. And on the flip side, my dad, he has friends and people that he deals with on a day-to-day basis who just don't have that relationship with their son or daughter. And we were aware that we're flourishing in a sense, there's so much room and work to be done. So he asked me if we wanted to share it. If we wanted to share our story and kind of our process on how we put our lives together in an effort to help others. Hence, Out of the Ashes was born.
Amar has a line in the presentation of Out of the Ashes where he says, while you were watching your father shave, I was cutting my throat. And I can still remember the first time I heard that. We were in my dining room in a house in Wilmington, and my heart dropped to my stomach. And the visual of that, the symbolism of somebody cutting their throat. I mean, it's a self-destructive act. It's suicide, right? And it made me realize that me not being in my son's life, just going about just going about doing normal everyday things, trying to live your life, he could have destroyed himself. And I was nowhere around to help him with that.
With writing my piece, I struggled. A lot of the things in Out of the Ashes, I had compartmentalized. It was put away. It was tucked away. But once I began writing, things started to come back, and I started to remember how I felt. So I say in there, when your dad was showing you how to dress and talk to girls, life wasn't giving me the time of day. I didn't really have anybody to show me how to interact with the opposite sex or what my swag should be like. I just kind of had to pick it up from other guys, but nobody really in the household. I had my grandfather, but he's way older than me. Things were done a lot differently back in 1950. When your dad shows you how to throw a punch, life was black in my eyes. I didn't have somebody to show me to get up, fight back, how to pick and choose my battles. And the last line from that section that really hit me was, when you were watching your father shave, I was cutting my throat. I've seen it on TV, videos, young kids, they sit in the bathroom and they watch their father lather up and shave, and then they'll go behind them and pretend to shave, and they might even shave themselves and cut themselves and little things like that. I've seen that, and I didn't have that. And it was really like a metaphor for me not having somebody close enough to follow to show me or how to guide me through life.
Yeah, I remember when I was a boy, and I used to stand in the doorway in our house, and my dad, he had this old like silver razor, and he would screw the head off the razor and drop in a blade, the double-edged blades, and screw it back on, and he would be lathered up, and I would sit there, I would watch him shave. Um, I was fascinated by it, right? That's my dad, and later on, like when I got around 9, 10, 11, whatever, I would lather my little lip up, and I remember taking the same razor and shaving the little peach fuzz off my lip, and it was like the coolest thing. It was just natural. You do what your fathers do. You follow in their footsteps.
Your kids are watching you. They're looking for someone to emulate. If it isn't their father or someone who has their best interests at heart, it could be devastating. Out of the Ashes is a service that helps parents and children strengthen their bond. We've seen parents from many walks of life who don't have the best relationship with their children and they want more for that relationship. We've seen children from many walks of life who don't know their dad, never met their dad. Their dad is in their life, but it's not what they want. Their dad lives around the corner and has a whole nother family, and that relationship is severed. Out of the Ashes helps to strengthen those bonds and talk through those damaged relationships.
So Out of the Ashes is it's a play. It's a play. It's in the vein of drama therapy, where we use our personal real life situation to depict certain scenes where we share. Like for instance, I share how my challenges growing up and going through incarceration and coming home. Amar shares his challenges of trying to navigate through the world without a father. And then the last scene, we reenact the talk, what I mean, where we've really sit down and have that talk about just reconnecting, what I mean, father and son. And we use this, what I mean, tool. It's a tool. We use this tool to be able to help people to begin to have that conversation about incarceration or reconnecting, what I mean, with your child after incarcerated situation or any type of separation, whether it be mental health issues, divorce, substance abuse, and what have you. And what we come to find out is that people aren't talking about it. So you have fathers and mothers, parents, some of the most significant people in a child's life, not in their life, and nobody's talking about it. And we acting as if everything is okay. It's not okay.
Right. I'm gonna say I gotta talk about it too.
So did Pop-Up ever formally show you how to shave, or did you just pick up from watching him?
Nah, he didn't formally show me anything. I just watched him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember once I started messing around, he said a couple things to me. One of the main thing, leave my damn razor alone.
What was it? What was his best tip, or did he give you any tips or anything to not cut yourself?
He tell me you can cut with the grain, not against it.
Right.
Keep him from getting razor bumps and stuff. I never seen him get razor bumps neither. That's interesting.
Cut with the grain.
Yeah, I need a pigtail. Let me off a couple of them. Not get too short, man. Put Stand in there. Hey, hold on. You can sit that down on the floor or something. I just don't want to get the floor dirty.
Did he have like a specific routine? Like, did he only shave Monday through Fridays and then let it grow in on the weekends, or was it like every morning a shaving thing?
He does shave pretty much every day. Maybe not absolutely every day, but when he was working, because he drove, he was a chauffeur later on, and he would always be neat and presentable, so he shaved pretty much every day. It's funny knowing that.
What you getting from this, Mar?
Just watching. Just watching.
How does it make you feel?
Well, I don't really shave. And I think probably because I don't really know how. I've tried a few times and I've cut hair off my face. So I don't know if I shave properly.
You shave it?
No.